What is going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. How the heck are we? We are another Tuesday, another week of streaming. I'm excited to see if we can't continue the win streak. We narrowly avoided a loss in Minnesota, so I'm excited to see what happens. I see some people checking in. We got Patrick kicking off right away. Let's go with another Madden. Let's go with another Madden kickoff. Amen. Chad says, awesome picture, Ben. Yeah, I edited that in like 2 minutes. It looks horrible, but I was like, hey, you know what I feel like is really lost? And I'm going to kind of go on a tangent here is bad Photoshop jobs. The whole AI takeover thing is really losing the craft of bad Photoshop jobs, and I think we need to bring it back. So that's why I was like, 2 minutes. I'm throwing this photo together. It looks horrible. It looks like a kindergartner did it. I don't care. I am like AI image stuff. I feel like I'm overseeing. It's so oversaturated right now, especially on social media. Joshua says, look like you might get injured. Yeah, I definitely would. So I tweaked my back somehow. My back's tweaked right now. So I would definitely get injured trying to backwards hurdle someone. Chad says, hopefully everyone's staying dry and having some warmer weather this week. I think our warmer weather is gone now at this point, but yeah, hopefully at least we're staying dry. Let's get this going. Patrick says I'm in Cali, and yet it may be somewhat warm. Looks like we're getting a little wet here soon too. Wow. Let's keep that streak alive. Ron says quite the athlete. I don't know about that, Ron. I don't know about that one. So we are, before I do anything, here's that giveaway link. We can't forget the giveaway link. There's that giveaway link there. If it's your first time watching, which it doesn't look like anyone here is first timer, but if it is your first time watching, if you're lurking in the shadows, just fill that out one time throughout the episode. I'm going to post it multiple times. And then later on, we will draw the winner towards the end of the show. So we're at the Giants. Giants are 3-3. Packers are 4-2. We got to upgrade some players real quick, and then we're going to jump right into the game. I got to make sure. Some weeks I feel like I go over an hour. Last week we were under an hour, which is fine. But I try to keep it around that hour sweet spot. So let's get into this thing. We got some players ready to negotiate. Not that it really matters. I don't foresee us getting to multiple seasons in this one because we're doing a game a week. So it's not the biggest deal. But so with Matt, I went in and I tweaked it and I made his stats a little bit better. But I also made him 7 foot tall because I felt like Matt needed to be 7 foot tall. That was the tallest I could make it. So, Chad says just need to Photoshop Matt as the player trying to tackle. That would be funny. I love my guy, Matt. Matt's the man. All right, we're starting with the ball today. Casey says, don't resign Ramage, trade that guy. Hey, that's my starting left tackle you're talking about, Casey. That's my starting left tackle. And actually, he wasn't a free agent. It's just giving me the option to sign his or to franchise tag him. But let's see what we got. We got Ron coming out here. Let's hope these jokers at wide receiver actually put up a better show for him tonight. Let's see if we can't get MJ going first. Patrick says, I got to see what my stats are. Kind of sucks being a defensive player at times. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of love when you're a defensive player. But the thing is, as a defensive player, when you make a play, it's a lot bigger of a play than, Kirby making a catch here. So it's a lot bigger of a play. But it is kind of one of those things that, you don't get your name called as often. I don't know that I have a spot either on offense where you'd really shine because we got MJ, we got our receivers out there, we got different things going here. I would put you as an offensive lineman, but there's not a whole lot of love there either. You're at least a stud D-back. You got that going for you. My hope is that we eventually. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I was trying to hit the underneath. I thought it was Y, but it was apparently X. So that was on my bad. That's my bad. Yeah. Feel free to drop some questions if you guys have any questions. I know we're just kind of hanging out, but feel free to drop them if you got them. All right, Ron. I don't know who 29 is. Oh, Wilcox making a play. Wow. Oh, we got a second Ron. We got my dude Ronnie in the building. Shout out to Ronnie. Good to see you, man. Ronnie says finally made it to his stream. Ronnie and I used to work at Arby's together back in the day. Uh, so fun. Let's go, Ron. Let's go, Ron. Oh, we got denied, but that's all right. We're getting close. So the fun thing with Ronnie, is we have Ronnie and I used to be in an online Madden league together. It was Ronnie, his brother Johnny, and myself, and we were an online. That sounds like it sounds like I'm telling a joke, but this is a legit. We were an online Madden league together, and I won the Super Bowl like 3 years in a row, 3 or 4 years in a row. And then Ronnie went out and literally traded away for every piece of talent he could get and just rocked the league the next year. Rocked me and Johnny. And then we never played another season after that. So shout out to John or shout out to Ronnie. Kirby's in the building. We got Alfonso. Good to see you, man. We're gonna try to get one for Tully here. Oh, I don't know, Tully. Tully's down there somewhere. Let's go. We're starting out good. We're starting out good here, guys. We're already getting a question here. Give me 1 second. Let me try to miss this. Joshua says, burning hot question. You have to choose one. If you could choose, what career would you do? Be the GM for the Packers or a professional skateboarder? Oh my. Honestly, like I know you're saying like, hey, you have to choose one because both sound awesome. Both sound terrible in different ways, if we're being honest. GM would be awesome, right? We've seen my GM skills. So if it's your first time watching, we do a game of Madden and then we do a season as me being GM. We've seen my GM skills. They're not great. I think being a GM would be a lot of fun, minus the insanely crazy hours and minus the fact that if you're not winning a Super Bowl like every 3 years, the fans want you replaced. And I think that's a really tough thing. Or at least if you're a Green Bay GM. You know, if you're the Browns and you're their GM, they might not care as much, right? But like if you're the Packers GM, which I think you said in the situation, if you're the Packers GM, you are expected to win a Super Bowl like all the time. So that would be very difficult to deal with. Then on the flip side, being a pro skateboarder, a lot of freedoms, but man, that's a lot of injuries. I think from longevity perspective, from financial security perspective, from health and wellness perspective, I'd probably choose Packers GM. But I think both would be like not an ideal job at all. I love that question though. I love that question. All right, let's see here. That was a fun one. Patrick, I see your question. We got to just. Oh, at least he dropped it. We got lucky there. Patrick says, my question is, do you think we got a chance to dethrone the so-called current king of the North, aka the Bears, and finally shut up the fans who are so hyped on the Iceman train? Yeah, I obviously think that we always have a shot at anything. I'm an optimist through and through. I think especially if, health can kind of go our way a little bit more this year. We had some pretty key injuries last year, but I think there's a lot of opportunity. The Packers could not only win the North, but win much more than that. Frankly, I don't really care if we win the North ever. I know that's like that stepping stone, right? But like, unless you are, can someone make a play on the ball? Unless you're getting a 1 seed, then I don't know that Lambeau Field really has that much of a home field advantage anymore, that it necessarily is like a big deal to get a home playoff game. But I think the talent's there. We're going to be without Micah for a little bit to start the year. We talked about that last week a little bit. I don't know if Tucker's coming back relatively quick, if he's going to be there start of the year. Wyatt, I don't know if go MJ, go, let's go. I don't know if he's going to be back right away. So there's going to be a lot of those guys that are key components that we are going to wait and see what happens with them. We also have the draft. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. So there's a lot of pieces, but I think the possibilities there. All right, let's see what we got here. That's probably a bad read. Cut in front of it anyway. Rach is mad you didn't shout her out. I didn't know Rach was watching. I thought she'd be making fun of me because it's now called the owners meeting in honor of Rach. I'm just hoping Cash doesn't punch me in the face, if we're being honest. Let's try this here. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, that's a bad read. That's on me. So we talked about my games a little delayed because I'm streaming from downstairs. So it definitely makes reading things a little bit more difficult because by the time I see them and I actually hit the button, it, it it's a little bit delayed on everything. So that's another excuse I got going for me. Casey says, "Are we ready to see Halfley and Willis in Green Bay against the Packers?" Man, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Um, Boy, they played that defense perfectly. I thought we had it wide open there. No one was on Tully. Of course he drops. He gets his hands on it, but of course he drops it. Uh, he's like, I caught a touchdown. I don't need to do anything else. Yeah, man. I think having Willis and Halfley and our former executive, who's now their GM, come to Green Bay is going to be a fun thing. I'm curious to see how that game's going to go. It should be a good one, though. I think there's going to probably be a lot of hype behind it. The Packers need to blow up the Dolphins in that game, otherwise you won't hear you won't hear the end of it from Dolphins fans about, or even Packers fans about how Willis is the better quarterback or what have you. Hey, we got Jenny in the building. So good to see you, Jenny. Jenny says, "Don't do Madden. Never have been, but one to tune in for change. Been too long. Good luck, man. Jenny, so good to see you. I appreciate you stepping in. Even if you don't do Madden, I don't blame you. It is definitely not for everyone. And I said that even as the live shows were going. Not a big deal at all. The off season is just tough because there's just not a lot to go on. So it's just something different. But I appreciate you swinging in nonetheless." MJ says, "Good evening, Ben. Was out by you today in Appleton. Looked up Legendaries. Didn't open until 3. It was 8 a.m. Oh, brutal, man. Yeah, their lunch hours are a little odd. I think on Wednesdays or Thursdays they open a little bit earlier for lunch. But hope you're staying safe out there on the road, man. I know we've having some funky weather all over the place, so hopefully you're staying safe." All right, let's get a stop here. No defensive push. Out of bounds. Get out of here. All right. MJ says, "Bring out questions. What's your favorite meal to cook with the family? Indoor cooking or outdoor grilling? Or are you a baker?" Oh man, good question. I do all the cooking in our household. I'm very particular in the kitchen and I love to cook. My wife is more than okay with that. I make a lot of carbs, a lot of good carbs. I do. I think the dish I probably do most often if I'm having people over and it's like we're gonna do something fun and have a really fun dish is I do homemade pizzas. I'll make a pizza dough for every single person, and then everyone does their own pizzas, which is really fun. Oh boy, run, go, go, go. So that's really fun to do. We do homemade pizzas. I do buffalo chicken pizzas, and then I use Legendary sauce for the sauce. That's what I do for mine. But I also really enjoy making pasta, like homemade pasta. That's a little bit more, I guess it's not really that much more labor intensive, but it is a little bit more in the sense of, having to knead the dough and run it through I have like a pasta attachment on my KitchenAid. So having to run it through that makes it a little bit more labor intensive. But man, homemade pasta is like next level. And it's relatively easy to make in the sense of very few ingredients. And it's so good. It's so good. Love that question, man. But I definitely do all of it. I like indoor cooking. I do grilling, not as much grilling, but I do grilling. Get there, MJ. Let's go. But yeah, good question, man. I have a question for you guys as we're playing. I like that you guys ask me questions, but I'm curious for you guys. I'm going to tell mine after I ask it, but I want to see it in the comments as well. Um, who is the first Packer you guys have ever met? If you've met a player, maybe some of you haven't met a player, but if you have met a player, who is the first Packer player that you have met? Mine came in 2010. I went to the tailgate tour and I was very hyped. So I got there super early and I was like one of the first people there, kind of sitting up front, nerd, sitting up front. And oh boy, that was the wrong button. I was sitting up front and I actually, at that point in time, I was like getting into like Packer documentaries and all those things. So learning about older players and maybe players that I didn't watch. That was on me, Ron. I thought Dakota was going to run more north as opposed to cutting in. But I was watching documentaries and getting to know players from like Lombardi's era and what have you. And as I was there super early, in walks Dave Robinson and sets up a table for a book he was doing. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's Dave Robinson. I said that to my friend. Oh my gosh, Dave Robinson. And I think he heard me because he points at me and like, gestures for me to come up to him. And I'm like, okay, maybe he needs something, whatever. I don't know whatever. So I go up there and Dave has his championship rings in his hands and he shows me them. And I was like, oh, those are really cool. Like, would you mind if I take a picture of those? And Dave says, yes, I mind. And I was like, hey, no worries at all. Like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. No worries at all. And he like throws one up at me and he says, put one on and take a picture with me instead. So the first Packer player I got to meet, I also got to wear one of his championship rings. And he was telling the story about when they won their championship and he got a Super Bowl ring. They didn't do a big ceremony like they do nowadays. He the mailman brought him a box, like they sent it in the mail, and the mailman brought his Super Bowl ring to him, and he had his mailman try it on, and his mailman was the first person to wear his Super Bowl ring. And I thought that was just such a cool story. So love Dave Robinson. What a great first interaction. But I'm curious, who is your first player that you have met? While I'm waiting for those to come in, I see Ron said, other than Packer related activities, do you have a favorite family activity? Oh man. Right now it's whatever my son wants to do, if we're being honest, because he's in demand of everything. But we do a lot of things that keep him active. Um, nothing in particular stands out, but we've gone to apple orchards and cherry, I think we're going to do cherry picking. But we do a lot of different activities for him, which is understandable. As far as my wife and I, one thing we really enjoy doing is we like to go to different coffee shops and try different coffee shops all over the area. If we're traveling somewhere, we always stop at a coffee shop. But love that question. Patrick says, what's your thoughts on a potential Kirk Cousins in Green Bay as a backup? We might have talked about this a little bit last week, but I, you know, I think having Kirk wouldn't be a bad thing by any means. You have an experienced backup. I think everyone would enjoy that. Um, I don't know that he would necessarily want to come to a place that realistically he's not going to be competing for a starting job. That role is Jordan's. But maybe he's at a point now in his career too where he's like, I don't really care about that. Kirby's down there somewhere. Let's go, Kirby. Nope. But I would be for it if the price is right and you're not. He's had a crazy agent that can kind of, he's gotten a lot of money for it. Ronnie says basement finally upgraded to a house. Man, I still remember your apartment back in the days, sleeping on your couch. Yes, I do have a house now, Ronnie. Moving up in the world. Someone's down there, whatever. Um, Caught in a thunderstorm. Oh yeah, that we had a pretty gnarly thunderstorm that rolled through today. Um, got caught in that. That's not fun, MJ. I thought my power was going out. We had some hail and all sorts of fun stuff. Chad says, if you had, oh, let me kick off here. I can never, I'm like the real life Packers. I can never like pull away in a game. We can have a great first drive. We can do a lot of positive things, but I never seem to put a team away. They always just stick around. Chad says this, if you had the opportunity, would you be on the Artemis rocket tomorrow to take a trip around the moon? Ah, dude, it shows how out of loop I am. I have zero idea at all what you're talking about. A trip around the moon, if I had the opportunity, I don't think I would. You know, I like, this is gonna sound silly, but like, you know what? My son's 2 years old, and I'm not gonna risk my life for something like that just for the sake to be like I went around the moon. When the downside of, if something were to happen to me, the downside of like my son growing up without me, uh, would be far, like a far bigger loss than me getting to see the moon. Um, oh boy, we got torched there. Gave me the wrong player, and then we got torched. But it is interesting. I think it'd be interesting to be in space, but I'm just not. I'm not a risk taker like that. MJ says I have a huge passion for cooking. I have two smokers, Blackstone charcoal grill, homemade smoked pasta is so good. Smoke the pasta and then use it for mac and cheese. Interesting. I've never heard of smoked pasta, man. That's super cool. I have a smoker, a little smoker that'll do pulled pork on, but nothing crazy. I just, I have big ambitions for all these different things. Then I just find that I just don't have the time to commit to a lot of it. But the stuff, it's really interesting to me. I got into like a little bit of a smoking bug a long time ago. Can smoke a really good pork shoulder, and that's about it. All right, here's some answers here. Michael says Tim Harris was his first one. Phenomenal. Jenny, Robert Brooks, MJ, Jordan Love at the Super Bowl. That's awesome. That's a super cool one. Michael says meeting Tim Harris in 1989. Joshua says Mike Hunt. Antonio Freeman for Steve. Still haven't met a Packers yet. Patrick says Fred the Hammer Williamson, though. That's awesome. Boy, dude, what is going on here? It's really hard for me to like. I keep calling plays that I'm not even looking. All right, MJ, make a play. Oh, it's not even MJ. Either way, made a play. Jenny says, who of the present NFL non-Packer players would you like to meet? Oh boy, that's tough. Non-Packer player, who would I like to meet? Trying to think. I'm kind of stumped on this one, Jenny. Of a non-Packer player, who would I like to meet? I don't know that there's one that like jumps out at me immediately of one that I would love to meet. I'm just kind of trying to run through some players in my head here. Non-Packer player that I would like to meet. Man. Oh boy, I'm kind of stumped on this one. I'm gonna give myself like 15 more seconds to think of something. I'm just trying to think like who would be a really cool player. Ooh, I thought 97 was gonna get that. The only ones I can think of are like players that I don't necessarily know that I'd really care to meet. Um, I feel like Joe Burrow would be kind of cool to meet. You know, he's kind of a nerd like me, likes like Pokemon and a bunch of different stuff. So he might not be bad, but I don't know that him and I would vibe very much, to be honest with you. Um, man, that's a really tough question. I would have to think on that a little bit more. The moon isn't real, Chad. Are we starting these the conspiracies? Let's go. All right, Tully's down there somewhere. Go get it, Tully. It's what we pay the big bucks for. No, not even close. All right, man. I gotta let's go for it. Whatever. MJA says, make your pasta, cook it, and then when it's drained, toss a little olive oil, leave it in the strainer, set in the smoker for 180. Use your wood chips, smoke for about 30 minutes. Interesting. That sounds interesting, man. I've never even heard of that. Dakota, let's go. Did you see him rise from the dead there? Let's go, Dakota. AI generated. Yeah. Ronnie, you can go Vikings, man. You're a Vikings fan. We can go Vikings. Oh boy. I'm glad he didn't pick that off. Ronnie says, haven't met a Packers yet, but my first player was either Stephon Diggs or Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter would be a cool one. Diggs, it sounds like he's kind of maybe a little bit of a nutcase. He peeled off how. Oh, look at those moves, Kirby. Look at those moves. All right, let's get one here. Let's get one. Kirby says Jermichael Finley at Rabicki Cheese at Mall of America. Whoa, Rabicki Cheese. I wish that still existed, man. That was like my go-to shop. Is that Sway Coda? The fourth down hero there? Let's go. Maybe the moon is flat like the earth is. Ron's getting in on the conspiracy theories. I love it. Have you seen it, Holes? I'm gassed after that first. Yeah, dude, you're not kidding. You are gassed after that first TD. MJ, I should have gave it to you. We made it a lot harder than it needed to be, but let's see if we can't get some defense. Maybe it's Patrick's time to shine here finally. Every game, man, I got to make it stupid close. It makes zero sense. I can't just play the game and do it well. I do think the delays make it harder, and the reading questions, responding to questions, I think that makes it a lot harder. I can't just like focus on the game. If I sat here and focused on the game, it'd be kind of boring. I think it'd be boring for everyone involved. We like to have fun with it. Let's get a turnover. See if Patrick can't do what we pay him money for. Where are you at, Patrick? Are you number 0 over there? They don't even throw at Patrick. They're scared of him. They're scared of him. Look at that. Patrick's just over there holding it down on an island. All right. I'm still trying to think of a non-Packer player that I would want to meet. I don't know. I'm still like, man, there's not really one that just like jumps out at me. They always do that quarterback sneak. What about you guys? What's a Ronnie, I know you're a Vikings player, or a Vikings fan. What's a non-favorite team player you guys would want to meet? Who's your like, yep, that's the guy. Whether it's if you're a Packers fan, like most of you guys are non-Packers fan. If you're a Viking fan like Ronnie, what's your non-Viking fan or Viking player at that point? I'm curious because I'm just drawing a blank. If I think of like older players that are no longer in the league, I feel like I have better success with it. I think JJ Watt would be a fun one to meet. There are a lot of like linebackers throughout the years that I think would be really interesting. I don't know. Myles Garrett actually might be my answer now that I'm thinking about it, because Myles Garrett was talking about how he got like a new Pokemon or a new Game Boy, and he was all about his Pokemon, and he bought like an older Game Boy, and I can relate to that because I'm a kind of a nostalgic nerd, and Myles Garrett's a freak. So I'm gonna say Myles Garrett is my answer. We can lock it in. MJ says Russell Wilson. I on Wisconsin. Jenny's is Trevor Lawrence. Interesting. Okay. Ronnie said Devontae Adams. Loved him when he was in Green Bay. Tay's the man. I love Devontae. Jenny says possibly an NFL coach I'd like to meet. I think, from an NFL coach perspective, I'd like to meet. I think it'd be hard not to want to meet Andy Reid. Strictly, he had time in Green Bay. They're going to go for it here, aren't they? He has a lot of fun stories from his time in Green Bay, which is awesome. So I think Andy Reid would just be a really cool one to meet, and just hear the stories that he has. I met Holmgren. Yeah, too much traffic. There's no way. Nice stop defense. I met Holmgren and he had some fun stories. So I think it'd just be awesome to meet Big Red. Chad says, dude, Cam would be a wild one. I can never say his last name. Scatabo would be a wild. Could probably get him to run through a wall next to nothing. Well, didn't he just get into some trouble because he said that he didn't think CTE was real? Oh man. MJ says Reed or McCarthy. So I've met Big Mike a couple times. Mike McCarthy a couple times, and he is always a super nice guy. Super just like genuine dude. All right, Ron. Nope. Ron, you don't have it. All right. 3rd and 5. We gotta pick something up here. This would be a really helpful thing if I wasn't bad at Madden. All right. We got Kirby's trying to do his thing. He's gonna go out. Dakota's just running out flat. I've complained about this before, but they've changed the controls, so now I'm really bad at calling audibles. I used to be really, really strong with it. Look at that, Kirby. Let's go. Outrun him, Kirby. What are you doing? You got to get in the gym. Come on. All right, now MJ's going to run it. The downside, though, is my field goal game is not going to be good. Delays aren't good, so my field goal game's not going to go well. Steve says Jamal Williams. That's cheating, Steve. He was a Packer, so he is axed from that. Thomas says read to hear stories of Favre and Mahomes. Thomas, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I think that would be. I think Reed's got to be the answer for me as well. So Kirby's saying Ed Reed for a player that he would like to meet. I was going more current player. If we are going, because I think Jenny said current player. If we were going all time, oh boy. Do we go for this? I can't afford to go into overtime because we're on a time crunch. But let's see what we got here. If we're going all time players, non-Packer, I think I might go. MJ's got this, right? Oh, MJ, you do not have that. If we're going all time non-Packer player, I would want to meet. I mean, Jenny says current. I'm still going to answer. All time non-Packer player I would want to meet. It's got to probably be, and I hated him when he played, but it's probably Randy Moss. I think Randy Moss would be a fun one just because of how dominant he was. But man, I hated him as a kid. He just kicked the crap out of us. And oh man. I'm getting yelled at because I didn't kick it. Steve says all time probably Peyton Manning. Manning would be a fun one. Not Eli. Oh, and they picked it up? Yep. Okay. This is probably maybe going to go into overtime. I should have kicked it. Here's the thing. My kicks are delayed. Everything's delayed. So it makes it infinitely harder. So I feel like my odds are better to try to pick up 2 yards. Clearly didn't work in that situation. But we went for it on the 4th and 10? And we picked it up. So sometimes you got to gamble. You got to gamble a little bit. Jenny says, yuck, Randy Moss. Yeah, I mean, that's probably an accurate answer. But I think just because he was so dominant and he was like such a big part of my life in the sense of, all right, overtime. such a big part of my life in the sense of my brother being a big fan of his and the rivalry there. Joe Burrow is another good one. Randy has really got arrogant. See, I haven't, obviously about like him back in the day and how he was. But I just think about like how much larger than life he is. Another one would be, so we're gonna kick it because we get a chance to have a double possession, right? We if they kick a field goal or score a touchdown, then we can go for fourth down. Another really fun one, Barry Sanders would be great. Another really fun one, I think, would be Megatron. I think he'd be a cool one to meet. Um, Randy Moss or Chris Carter. Uh, that's what MJ said. All right, so we have 4 minutes. That's not a lot of time in Madden, so maybe I should have just went. Maybe I should have took the ball first. That might have been a bad idea. Let's hope we don't have a tie. Let's not put the cart ahead of the horse. Let's just take care of business here. Kirby said Moss was a Packer killer for sure. Remember the Green Bay had to replace the grass at Lambeau Field. Too much moss in the end field. Dude, how did that get around so much pre-internet era? That is baffling to me that got around like it did. I will never forget going to school after that 98 game at Lambeau Field and hearing that joke. Like literally next day and to know that it was widespread. It's almost like the Marilyn Manson thing. Like how do these things spread in an era before the internet? It makes zero sense to me. Maybe it's just because we're like, we're both in that same area, Kirby, but it's wild that we both are hearing like the same exact joke. Can we get a defensive stand? All right. Let's go. MJ said, yeah, the mooning the crowd. Ooh, Nathan brought up a good one. Marshawn Lynch would be a fun one. Marshawn Lynch would be a real dude's just a character. That's a good one, Nathan. I like that pick. All right, let's go. You can tell Rich isn't my special team. I got positive yardage on a return. Oh boy. And then we're gonna have to try to kick a field goal. Maybe MJ can put a dagger in him here. I also hate that this is going into overtime because this is killing into our time for our franchise, but this is a terrible. We're gonna call timeout. We're not gonna use them all, I don't think. Famous last words. I think Moss was like one of the players I hated the most growing up too, which is the funniest thing. Like I was so happy when he didn't get a ring with the Patriots and when he didn't get a ring with San Francisco. But now as I'm older, I just like appreciate not taking that sack, but I appreciate his level of play a whole lot more. Did we get a free play here? Kirby's down there somewhere, not to catch it. Chad said they had the 98 game. He torched us on NFL Network last night. Decided not to watch that nightmare again. I mean, I think that's a good call, man. That's a good call. The NFL Network's great for that, but there are so many games where I'm like, dude, I am never watching that game again. Tully with the first down, get out of bounds. Let's go. Thomas said Moss mooning the crowd was funny and we deserved it since our fans mooned their bus. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that like I don't know. Oh boy, what was that? I think that's like one of those things that it's like, people want to be appalled by it, right? Just because it's like, it's like the integrity of the game, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Oh my gosh, Tully actually catches the ball. Let's go. Jenny says, how about Matt Stafford and his 4 little girls? Oh my gosh. The Super Bowl thing just as a dad just like tugged at my heartstrings. Or not the Super Bowl, the MVP thing. All right, we got a minute left. It's telling us to kick a 52-yarder. What do we do here? I got to consult you guys. Do we kick this 52-yarder? Everything's legged, right? We're delayed. It's 4th and 3. We're not having good luck. If I miss the 4th and 3, so either we bring the clock way down, I try the 52-yarder, we might lose the game or go to a tie. If I try to go for it and we don't get it, we're probably having a tie. I see kick. But then I also see MJ say no guts, no glory. That feels like a go for it. I see Patrick saying go for it. Go for the 4th down. Kick. QB play is garbage. Hey, that's user error. That's not on Ron. That's not on Ron. All right, we're going for it. We're going for it. Ron says go. I trust my quarterback. Joshua says grow a pair. Kirby's out there kind of on his own. Oh, Matt jumped. Oh, Matt. I'm definitely not punting it. Are you kidding me, Madden? Boy, typical Packers fashion, man. Typical Packers fashion. Oh, not the greatest play call. I'll own that one. Well, it seems like we're gonna have a tie game here. Nothing worse. It's like the Dallas Cowboys all over again. Maybe I shouldn't talk. It's anything could have happened yet. Could force a turnover. Patrick could get a pick 6 here. They could let up a touchdown. Anything could happen. Man, that's disheartening. What a bummer. So they're calling their timeouts here. Hey, I'm not a good Madden player. I think we all know that. I'm blaming this tie on Matt Ramage. How are you going to jump on a 3rd and 2? So you're saying there's a shot. So we're going to try to punt block this. I'm not going to do it, but okay. Oh, and I fair caught it with 0 seconds left. Wah, wah, wah. Well, that's disheartening. That is disheartening. All right, here's that giveaway link one more time for you if you haven't entered yet. Jeremy, go Pack Go. Thanks for stopping in and watching me tie to the Giants. Brutal. Brutal. All right, let's go back to GM mode here real quick. We're gonna have to be a little bit speedier because of the fact that we just took and then of course I screw up on that. Because the fact that we just took an extra like 10 minutes in a tie with the Giants. Should have went for it. If it was like 42-yarder, I probably would have kicked it. 52-yarder felt like there's no chance I'm making it down here. Not with the delay I have. While we're waiting for that, let's give a quick shout out to my friends over at Nicolet Law who make the giveaways possible. When an accident happens, you need someone in your corner who knows how the system works. Nicolet Law is a Midwest personal injury law firm that knows how to deal with insurance companies and protect injured people. They handle the paperwork, the calls, and the back and forth, so you don't have to. Local attorneys call 1-855-NICOLET or visit nicoletlaw.com. Shout out to them. MJ says computerize the draft to see what they do. Let's see where we're at because so we lost in the wild card last year. We're not going to have a ton of cap. Let's see who gets the Super Bowl this year. Super Bowl this year. I don't know what year. We're 2030 in this season. Super Bowl this year is the Bengals and Panthers. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to predict it. Joe Burrow probably won another MVP. Dude wins MVP every single year in this game. Unbelievable. All right. NFC offensive player, Devontae Smith, Eric Robertson, Dorian Welch. No Packer players. My tenure as a GM is not a strong one. All right, let's jump to the offseason. We're not going to have much in cap space. I don't think we've signed a fair bit of guys. But let's see. Panthers. Oh, I didn't even check. Did the Panthers win it? Yeah, the Panthers won the Super Bowl 28-20. Wow. All right, let's see who we got ready to. So the wide receiver, this is for his contract for his 5th-year option of $33 million. I don't think I'm going to do that. Center, 86 overall, 11 million. We have 27 million in cap. That would be a 22 million hit. Strong safety. We have like no money. we are broke. I don't think we can sign any of these guys right now. Oh, sweet Coda. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for showing up. You caught a touchdown in our tie against the Giants. Unbelievable. Let's see what we got for free agents. I don't have any money where I'm at financially. Cap room 26 million. We got Bosa as a. Here's the thing. Do we pair Bosa with Parsons for a single season and see if that isn't enough to put us over the top? I think we have to, right? It's probably a terrible idea. 33 years old. I probably just way overpaid for him. But we are going to go to. We don't have any money, so we're just going to jump to the draft. Tank it, better draft pick. Hey, this is Green Bay. We don't tank here. Trying to get me fired, Joshua? We're already talking about. I don't even see if it. I missed the draft recap because I. Did we get him? We did get Bosa. Okay. We shall see how that goes. All right. Let's go to the GM. Is the draft board going to tell us our top needs? Of course not. Why would it? Why would Madden make it seem like a real draft board? Free safety, right tackle, center. All right. Skip ahead to the draft. Let's actually look at the draft board. We got a left tackle. We got an edge at 4. We're not at 4, but we got an edge at 4. All right, we're not going to trade up. We're not going to go too crazy. Let's just go to our next pick. Steven, good to see you, man. Good to see you, but the game ended in a tie today. Not good. Not a good game. A lot of bad coaching decisions on my part. It's just not good. All right, we don't need a left tackle. It keeps saying that we need a left tackle. We do not need a left tackle. We have a left tackle that we drafted. He's going to be a free agent next year, I believe, or last year's on a contract. So maybe we could take one if we don't want to pay ours. How's this guy's strength? See, this guy's like elite everywhere. Look at this guy. What is this guy going on? We do need a center. This guy's elite in like everything. There's our guy. Oh, not the greatest, but that's all right. That's all right. We needed a center. Koopa Stink said Y trail best play. I need that for next time. Make your selection. We're going to try to draft quick here. I feel like sometimes I go a little slow and I take my time. Where's the fun in that? We gotta get on our show on the road here. I like to draft like I'm Goot. I just go to the see what's elite. Doesn't really work out for me, but we got a lot of elite guys here. We got, look at this, elite quarterback. I don't need a quarterback. We do need a will. Strength solid, speed good. What's this? This one's elite. Yeah, we're gonna take this one. Works for me. Not great, but that's okay. I'm telling you, I'm not a good GM, guys. I think it's easier said than done. Especially, I mean, Madden is easier probably than real life, of course. So the fact that it's, that I suck so much at this, I definitely give some grace there. You got to draft the Gutekunst route though. You just look for the freaks. All right. Yeah, let's auto draft it. Joshua says auto draft it. We're going to auto draft it. How'd they do? Took a edge. Didn't even show me his breakdown, but okay. Let's see what we got here. Anything standing out to us? Joshua says skateboarding. Yeah, is that my better career choice? Being a pro skateboarder as opposed to a GM? What's this guy? Defensive tackle with elite speed. This guy's got elite strength, but everything else is terrible. Oh boy. All right. Because we're tight on time, let's just we're gonna have the computer take us out the rest of the way. And it's not even gonna show me the guys. We might as well just advance to the end. The overtime really killed us here. Doesn't matter. We signed Joey Bosa. That should pair well nicely with Micah. Let's look at the draft recap. Let's see what we got here. Not a great draft by any means. Our center 73 overall, Will 71 overall, and then some pretty meh picks there. That's how it goes though, especially when I'm the GM. That is not what I wanted. Let's advance a week. This one we're actually probably going to have to look at because I wonder if we're going to be over cap. We're starting to get in that weird cap space place. Depending on how the season goes, we might have to get weird with it. All right. See what they're going to have us do for cut candidates. Usually I don't care, but I'm curious on where we're at for is this going to show us our free or our trying to see where our cap is at. Okay, so we have 4 million in cap space. Got to cut 8 players. Cool, we'll let them auto do that. Trying to rush through this so we're not here all night. All right, let's jump midway through the season. Like I said, if I was normally doing this by myself and taking more time, I'd kind of go week by week in case there's injuries. One thing I forgot to do is I forgot to auto set the depth chart. So give me one. Manage team. Okay, so I got to make sure that my edges are set where it's not just stacking them. Okay, Micah and then Bosa. I'm sure Bosa is going to be hurt by like mid year. Boy, that's not good to have. He's already starting. Why would they? Zach Tom's already starting. I don't understand why you'd have a dude who's 69 overall in before someone who's 74. All right, now we can start simming. So we're not going to have much draft. We're not going to have much cap space to sign a handful of our guys. We have our left tackle that is going to be a free agent. Midway through the year, we're 3-3. That is not good. Players ready to negotiate. Oh boy, and then didn't we just sign this defensive tackle? Like we legitimately just signed him. Here's the deal, guys. We are going to get rid of him. Someone's going to pay big money for this D tackle. We have a decent D tackle backing him up. 88 overall. So we are going to get rid of this guy. Someone's going to give us a first round pick for him, right? Colts need a D tackle. Let's see if we can't get something done. They're going to be over cap space, of course. So that hurts. Cowboys need a D tackle. What do they got for picks? 14th. Can we get 2 first rounders for him? Look at that. Just like that, you're fleecing the Cowboys. All right. All right. That helps. That helps. I don't think that's going to give us much for. How do we jump to $193 million? Were we paying? What the hell was going on? There's no chance we were paying that dude. Did I mistakenly look at something? How do we have $193 million in cap space now? What is going on here? Okay. Oh, is it because we're later on now and then Micah's? Dude, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how I suddenly have $193 million in cap space. But let's go to let's just jump to the well. No, we do need to advance. We're gonna advance one more week because we do need to re-sign some guys. All right, let's negotiate this. Try to get this guy. Seems pretty good. Cool, he's back. Micah is coming on. He's not really interested in re-signing. I think we're going to wait till free agency to go after him. I think we'll end up paying less. Matthew Golden, let's see if we can't re-sign him. I don't think he re-signed with that. That's fine. We can always try. Xavier, he is 32. All right, some of these guys we might be. Zach. All right, Zach, we probably overpaid for, but you got a right tackle there. All right. Let's get to the end of the season. Let's see if this playoffs. We're 4-3, midway through the year. We have talent. Now we have 2 first picks from the Cowboys. That gives us a lot of opportunities. I could have swore we just signed that defensive tackle too. I thought we. Steven says, "Can you fire and hire a new coach?" No, in this mode, I can't because I'm technically playing as the head coach, so it doesn't allow you to. In previous years of being like in Madden, you could. In previous years, you could play as the owner, and then you could have a lot more versatility there. It doesn't let you do that anymore. So we are a wild card team once again. I feel like every year in this game, I'm sure Joe Burrow's winning MVP. Packers Bears for the divisional round. Let's see what we got here. And we lost 20-13. There you have it. Well, that's another week in the books, another season in the books. But I am excited about the fact that we have the 2 picks from the Cowboys and see what we can do. Let's get this giveaway going. If you have not entered, now's the time. If you need your name added, you have 2 minutes to let me know. Not even 2 minutes. You have 30 seconds to let me know if you need your name added to the giveaway. I'm getting the list together now as we speak. So if you do need your name added, let me know. Let's see here. Going through the list. I'm going to give the bonus question tonight. I'll give it to Jenny. She asked a question that stumped me. It's a good question. So Jenny's getting the bonus entry tonight. I don't see anyone else saying that they need to be added. So we are going to do. Oh, Ronnie says add my name. Fine, Ronnie. Okay. All right. Let's get these. Oh, Steven says add 2, please. All right. Got Steven added. Let me. Wrong one. Let me share this one and then. Jess and you are both entered. I see Jess and Steve. Kirby the second. All right. Good luck, everyone. We have 20 entries, including Ronnie Sticks at Madden. I think I spelled Ronnie right. Okay. Good luck, everyone. Oh, it's so close. Kirby? Let's go, Kirby. Let's go. Oh man. I didn't think it was gonna do it. I thought it was gonna go to Alfonso, man. I wish I had a party streamer. Kirby's been trying to win for like a year and a half. Let's get some smelling salts in Kirby's honor. Let's get some smelling salts. Kirby, give me a number 1 through what? What am I at? 1 through 50? I don't remember. I'm too excited. 1 through 50, up or down? Let's go. Oh my. Now he's not even going to claim it. Clock started 30 seconds. Yep. 30 seconds. 3, 2. No, I'm just kidding, Kirby. Just kidding, Kirby. All right, Kirby. 1 through 50. Come on, Kirby. I see you're in tears. I need 1 through 50. Just because you win once doesn't mean you just steal the show. Put a chokehold on the show. 34 and up. All right. I was going to have someone else pick for you. Is this because of Kirby Puckett? 34. All right. This one says, it says, the prize is no prize. You forfeited the prize. So unfortunately, no. Dave Robinson signed 8x10, which is a really cool picture. It's him standing over a quarterback signed with the Hall of Fame inscription. So attaboy, Kirby. Way to win a good one. Well, on that, let's end on a good note. Shout out to Kirby. We finally got one. I hope you guys all have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. Ronnie, I'll see you on RuneScape. And yeah, have a good rest of your night. As always, go Pack Go. See you next week. Same time, same place. And also, finally, before I do anything, thanks to my friends at Nicolet Law for making the giveaways possible. I know I gave them a shout out earlier, but really I wouldn't be able to do it without them. So huge thanks to them. See you guys same time, same place next week. Go Pack Go.